Hello, welcome to the NSA Georgia website. I'm your host, President-elect Diane Bogino. Our guest today is Roger Courville. Roger is an analyst, author, and chief content guy for thevirtualpresenter.com. Roger has won numerous awards for his presentations, both live and virtual. He is the author of several books, including The Virtual Presenter's Handbook, and he's contributing author to Business Expert Guide to Small Business Success. Roger is the principal at 1080 Group and an internationally sought-after speaker and teacher on the use of web seminars to deliver business results. Roger, thank you for being with us tonight.
My pleasure.
So Roger, tell us, what do you think are the biggest mistakes people make when they do virtual presentations?
You know, one of the biggest challenges is trying to do the same thing we do offline, online. The medium changes the experience, and if we can adapt to what it is that we're going to do, we can draw in that audience, engage them, and really make them feel like they're part of the presentation.
And speaking of adapting, how do people adapt to a virtual presentation? What do they need to do?
Well, you know, first thing you've got to do is be aware of what you do, right? I've been doing this thing for 50 years, and now I'm going to move that into this online space. Second, we identify what tools we have available, because it's those tools that allow us to engage people, whether we figure out how we're going to ask for a show of hands or interact with them with questions, those kinds of things. And then finally, discover the new things that you can do online that you can't do offline. And some things you can actually do easier, if not more effectively, online.
And what role does like body language and eye contact play when you're doing a virtual presentation?
Well, as you can imagine, one of the first things that anybody worries about is, I can't see my audience, and maybe they can see me, maybe they can't see me. But remember that the sum total of communication is more than just maybe me being able to look into your eyes. So my computer screen now becomes my window to you in the audience, and the tools that I have to engage you visually change, but I can still do so. Same with body language. One, visually, maybe whether I'm showing how I'm showing PowerPoint or pointing at something virtually to draw your attention there, but also how do you relate to a camera, right? Because in a physical environment, there might be lateral movement because you walk back and forth at the front of the room, whereas now I'm looking at a camera and needing to make eye contact, maybe more like a newscaster does, to draw in that audience member.
And what about the business angle? Tell us about that in virtual presentations. How does that work?
Well, certainly, as you can imagine, one of the questions for us as speakers is, can I make any money? And isn't everything on the web free, right? Well, you know, certainly it has been a transformation, right? No different than the Wall Street Journal figuring out how to monetize online when 10 years ago everybody thought the news online should be free. But the reality is there is a distinct opportunity when you do a live presentation to a virtual audience to deliver value in a way that doesn't mean it has to be free. In fact, here's your little secret for the day. I actually charge the same thing online and offline.
Wow, that's a great lead into my next question, which is how should, not just speakers, but say a business person, how should people charge for a virtual presentation?
You know, I don't think there's any magic formula, but one of the things that we know is that it's not right or wrong, but it is different. So you might experience one of four things. Certainly reach. Just this week I'm standing with you in Atlanta, Georgia from my home in Portland, Oregon, because I'm doing 2 in-person presentations, but this week I made a presentation to Australia and Europe as well. Which leads to the second thing, which is frequency. Sometimes maybe you can pack more in because you're not as on an airplane as much. Third is, how do you increase responsiveness maybe to the kind of experience that what people have often experienced with like a webcast, right? Many webcasts are a lot like television shows or a DVD. There's no interaction. It doesn't have to be that way. You can draw people in and connect with them personally. And finally, the traditional way of connecting with people at a distance live has been the telephone, a conference call. But now I've got this rich set of things that can engage people visually and interactively, 4 different ways to create additional value. And if you figure out what that is and learn how to share with the meeting planner how you're going to create value, you can deliver an experience that's worth every penny.
And Roger, do you think that virtual presentations can play a real key role in business growth today, particularly in this economy that we're just coming out of? Well,
I certainly think it has an opportunity. Here's the reality. It may not be right for you. And one of my dear friends, Gail Hand, is a corporate comedian, and she said, I tried it and it just didn't work for me. On the flip side of the coin, for many, if not most people, there's probably a unique place. It doesn't replace in-person stuff. It doesn't replace you producing DVDs or books or things like that, but it may give you a new, unique opportunity in your business mix to reach people and sell them something.
Roger, great advice. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for visiting the NSA Georgia website. Stay tuned because we'll be bringing you more top presenters like Roger Courville.